So welcome friends, and today we will talk about the Lombok project. Okay, we have already gone through the installation of the Lombok project, and what you can do, you can create a project in by using the Spring Initializer. So you can go here and you can create a project. In Spring Initializer. Okay, so here what you can do, you can go there and create a project, and while creating a project, if you want to use the Lombok, you need to add the dependencies. So here you can add dependencies and use the default version, your group artifact, and select Java 11 or 8, because in my system Java 11 is available, so that's why I use Java 11. Now here what happened, my friend, Lombok project, but basically it do. Uh, Lombok is basically is used to minimize the code, because in most of the application, but basically we use, basically you can say, we use because we mostly deal with the pojos. Okay, we mostly deal with the pojos class, and in the pojos class we have the instance variable. Okay, and we have the getter and setter method, and we also have the constructor, and this constructor may be the no argument constructor or the all argument constructor. Okay, so wait a minute, no argument constructor, and also we usually deal with you can say, and also we deal with something like the non-null value. We also deal with you can say toString. Okay, equals. Okay, hash code. And also we also deal with the loggings. All right, so all this what basically do, when we create a simple Pojo class, okay, we need to write this code, and we know most of these codes are overridden. All right, and but still we need to write the setter and getter method. So when you create a big project, this code complexity will be increased, because in each and every Pojo class you need to write a lot of getter and setter method. So here, by using the Lombok, you can create a boilerplate code where automatically, implicitly, you will have the getter and setter method, and you will have all these types of methods available. All right, so this is basically the Lombok, and we use Lombok with the configuration properties file, because when we create the configuration property file in Spring Boot, okay, configuration property, sorry, it's a configuration property. Okay, so here because configuration property says, okay, if you are using the configuration properties, it will sort out the problem of @value annotation, but still you need to deal with the getter and setter. So here, when you go with the configuration properties with the Lombok project, or you can see, say the dependency, Lombok dependency, okay, you can sort out this problem. So what we were going to do, I'm going to show you how you can do the same, okay, in your project. So here I'm having the project that is basically I built it by using the Spring Initializer. And as you can see in the Spring Initializer, I have already added this Lombok. And first, before this, you need to install the Lombok dependencies, Lombok installation you need to do, plugin that is you need to add. So I have a video already available in my channel. You can go through it and you can easily download it. Now, what I'm going to do to give this demonstration, what we can do, we can simply create a very simple class, let's say, so that we can use these annotations. So here what I can do, I'm just going to create a class. Let the class name is the user class. Okay, pretty simple class, the user class that I'm going to create. And with this example, I will be able to show you, okay, how you can do the same. So let's say in the user class, what exactly it look like. Okay, so when we say a user, in the user you will have private, you can have the ID of the user, you can have the name of the user, you can have the last name of the user, you can have age of the user, you can have the gender of the user. So what basically we do, if you want to use these, we need to create the constructor. For example, you can create the constructor by using the field or by using the super class. So everything you need to deal with here, okay, by your own. Everything you need to deal with here. Suppose this is my no argument constructor, or you can also create a constructor like by using the fields. Okay, by using the fields, you can also do this. And also you need to deal with the, you can say, the getter and setters methods, something like this. You need to deal with the getter and setter methods. All right, so here after doing this, you can test this application. How you can test this application? By creating the object of this user, by creating the object of this user, something like this. I will create a user, and this is my user here, and a new. Okay, mostly when we deal with the beans, you can easily use the application context. But here, just to demonstrate it, means you can use here, you can set the name of the user. Let's say I will set the name as a Girish, something like this. And if I want to retrieve it, we can simply retrieve it system.out.println. So this is the way usually we are dealing with since the beginning of the object-oriented programming in Java, where we can encapsulate the data, okay, by using the public setter and getter method. So here you can use user.get the name, and it will print out the name. And suppose if I want to do the something like if I want to retrieve the another things, let's say get the last name. Okay, let's see what will happen. So here I can just use a Java application, and let me try to run it. So here the second value will be null, and the first one is the value. All right, so what exactly that we need to remove? As you can see, as more and more application grow, more and more Pojo class or more and more beans or component that you are going to create, you are going to deal with a lot of setter and getter method. So by using the Lombok, you can easily remove this. Suppose I didn't want to use the setter. I didn't want to use the setter. So what you can do, you can simply here use @ setter. So you can see it's a setter annotations, and you can find it out here that put on any field to make the Lombok build a standard setter and getter. Wonderful approach. And what I'm going to do out here, from here I will just remove all, and let me use the getter and setter, and select setters. Okay, I want to, okay, sorry, deselect all, and select getters, because we are generating the setters here. So you can see here, in this case also scenario also, suppose I want to set a name. So you can see this method is, setter methods are not available here. You can check it out here. The setter methods are not available. Only the getter methods are available. See, still you will, when you use the user dot set, see, automatically all the setter methods are available over here. Okay. Same thing you can do with the other. Same thing you can do with the other. And in this second case scenario, I didn't want to use here the getter one. So I will delete this, and we will use here at the rate getter. Okay. All right. Now, I also want to use a constructor that should have a no argument constructor. So I will use here at the rate no argument constructor. And next, suppose I also want an argumented constructor. What I can do out here, I can use here at the rate all argument constructor. So you can see how it is, this application is reduced to much and more extent. Okay. So this is the magic of the Lombok. This is the magic of the Lombok, and all the methods like the getter methods and the setter methods, you will be find out here. So I need to first save it. You can automatically find out here. So here you can see, okay, I will use user, see on the, here we are already using it. Okay. And if you use the get, you will get the get. Okay. And this, if I want to use the argument constructor, see, if I press this, you can find it out here. See here, you can now directly type all the names and everything very well. So these two argument constructor, one is the argument constructor, and second one, the no argument constructor, is automatically available. Now, how you can use this particular Lombok with what you can say, if you want to use and provide all the default value of this instance variable. So what we can do here, we can use at the rate configuration properties, and let me generate a property that will start with the user, something like this. All right, now we'll save it. So if it give a yellow mark, okay, underline, you need to go through it and you need to add the dependencies. All right, so what I can do now, I can move here in the resources, and I will make a right click, and then I will move here to rename, and okay, this is YAML file. Okay, I thought this is a properties file, and here you can see we can have a user with a name. I have already added one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the first name. So here you can use first name. I need to remove this name because it is no longer okay, and more better to use here something like this, like, okay. And now let me give the first name, let's say Girish, and I will use last name, let's say the Shakya, and then we will have here the age. So I will use here the age, let's say 40, and then we will have here the gender. Okay, then we will have your gender, something like this. The gender, I will say it's a male. Okay, so see, this is also same. And now I want to use this because as you can see, when we deal with the configuration properties, we need to have all this available. Okay, means we need all the getter and setters will be available. Now if I want to use once again this configuration properties, I can go here at the rate and then use an annotation, enable this configuration properties, and here we will pass the name. So here you can use the user dot class like this. All right, that's done. And now what we can do out here, we can simply run this and we will check. Okay, if you want to check it, what I need to do, I need to show it. Okay, I need to show somewhere somehow. So what I can do, I can use here a method that says the public. Okay, because I think we are creating here, okay, to show this, what you can do, you can use the annotation at the rate toString, I think this one. So now we will have a string method available. So when I try to print it, it should show something like the output, right click, go to, and let me run the Java application. Okay. It is not showing because we have not defined it what type of the class is. I will use it as a at component. So I will make it a component. So I think now it should show it. Otherwise, we will use some different approach. Taking a little bit of time. Again, it's saying that, okay, this port is already in use, so we need to stop it first, and then we need to rerun it again. All right, I got my point. Okay, so we need to use it somewhere in the implementation class. So what I can do, I can go and create a class user impl something. I will do something like this. And here, what we can do, we can use here a let's say something that we need to display output, or you can use the service here like this. And in the service we will have a private final, and this is the user that I'm going to use. All right, and we will create a constructor using field like this, and here we will try to print something. Okay, we will use here, and something like we can use here as an auto wired. All right, it will be auto wired. And now what we can do, I will try to print at least one. I will use here this dot user dot get the first name. All right, and let me run it. See, so as you can see, okay, already in use but not an issue. Okay, but you can see it is showing the output. Let me do it some this way, and let me rerun this server. It usually happen. So you can see like this. Okay, now the point to notice here, we are using the configuration properties, and in configuration property we are not using any kind of setter and getter and argument and constructor. So this is how you can use it. Okay, second thing also, you can make means instead of using or writing all this type of annotation, you can, if you want going to use individual one, then you can go with this individual annotations. But if you want to use all the annotation one at a time, you can use a simple annotation that's at the rate data, something like this. That's all. So it will include everything. It will include each and everything. Okay, it will include each and everything. So once you do this, my friend, what you can do, you can simply run this application. Okay, now let me run it once again. So you will here in the impl class, what I can do, I can print something more. Let's say the second one, we will get the last name. Third one, let me display the age. Okay, and let me display something else. The last one is the gender. All right, and let me try to display the ID also, which actually is not available. All right, so we will save this one, and let me run this application. See, so this is how you can use it. Okay, like this one. So this is about a little bit introduction, and mostly widely we use this Lombok in this way particular case scenario. So my friends, I hope you like this tutorials. I hope you like this tutorials, and I request you all to do please do subscribe this channel. Please like, if you like this video, please like it, and if you want more this kind of video, please press the notification bell. Okay, thanks for watching it. Have a nice day.